Well, welcome to this session being same but different. It's a chance for us to look at what a CRM is and how infoodle is perhaps different from other CRMs that are out there. My name is Richard. I'm the founder of infoodle. These days I'm more involved in the not only the business but the technical side of things as well. So technical lead for the business. So a CRM is a term that gets used by a lot of people for a lot of different purposes. In infoodle, we're focusing very much more on the people side of things. There are CRMs that work well in a sales context, that work well to be able to have pipelines of sales activities. We're more focused on the people. We're more focused on the relationships between those people. And therefore, sales isn't part of our thinking particularly. It's more about developing and understanding how people are connected together, how they're connected to you, and what their relationship is in the sense of how we can serve them, how we can work with them better. So a CRM is, as I say, a number of things. So a community relationship management system is where we would start from. So it identifies the relationships between the individuals, how they connect as households, how they connect to you, why they're connected together, what their purposes are. So we've got a number of mechanisms within infoodle to enable that. So it's really important that we understand and you understand how your people are involved in your community. Are they volunteers? Are they married together? Are they sponsoring one another? How does it all work in terms of their connections? Because there's a reason why they're involved with you. So it's really important to understand what that reason is. So not only can we identify the relationships, it's identifying the ability to contact each other. So a contact management system is what infoodle also is. It's a way of contacting all of these people that exist within your database. And contacting means texting them, means emailing them, means sending them an app notification, means even sending reports about people so we understand why they're in your database, but also asking those why questions about why they're involved. What do you want to do with them, how you're going to particularly target them and give them the communication that they need. So contacting people is really important, and to keep that slick, keep that simple, and for you to be utilizing that as much as possible. Having a single point of truth in terms of the contacts and the data within the system means that you can provide rich information and therefore enable you to target your information or target your contacts most effectively. So not only is it a contact management system, it's also a coordination management system. So coordinating your volunteers, coordinating your contacts that you've now got within your system is also really fundamental to a lot of organizations that work with us. So often that's around the volunteer activity. So you want to make sure the volunteers are in the right place at the right time, doing the right things, know how to do the right things. And all this can be done through contacting them and coordinating their activities. We need to schedule them, we need to roster them, we need to ensure that they know why they're doing what they're doing and when they're doing it. This obviously promotes efficiency and reduces your admin because it's all being done, a lot of it can be done automatically. So as well as that, a key aspect of what infoodle provides for organizations is a receipting system. So we're a central receipting system, pushing the CRM terminology a bit there, but it's central receipting system. So to be able to issue a receipt is really important for particularly for non-UK companies, organizations. So you need to be able to issue a tax receipt either as you're going along throughout the year or at the end of the year. So providing you with really flexible mechanisms to generate those receipts is really important for us. And it enables you to be really efficient as well. So you also need have got legal requirements to make sure that you hold on to that information and able to provide that information to people. So we're trying to ensure that you can honor those requirements as well. The UK is slightly different because we've got the gift aid way of producing the receipt. In the sense that it is organization focused rather than donor focused, which is how it works in the rest of the world. So infoodle has honored that by providing you the mechanism to do the gift aid processing. So therefore you can talk to the HMRC and get that payment made back to you directly, rather than a donor being responsible for that activity. So finally, our infoodle provides you the ability to report. So it's a central reporting module. So we've got all this wonderful rich data, you've got all your contacts in there, you've got all your communication, you've got all your rostering going on. We need to be able to understand and slice and dice that data in a way that is useful to you to do the jobs that you need to do. So we need to be able to establish a new men's group. So let's find out how many men we've got who are perhaps over 18. Maybe we've got a new kids group that we want to start up. So segmenting out those people. But also in terms of a donor profile. So who hasn't given us funds in the last year, but gave us funds in the previous years. So there's a lot of analysis that we can do in order to better understand the people that reside within our database. And you need to be able to communicate with those. So using these reports to generate lists is really key to what infoodle is trying to do, to make you enable you to make best use of the contact data that you've got within the system. So that's a very broad overview of what infoodle looks like. But what can be often helpful for those of us who are a bit more visually oriented is to actually see how it all fits together, because it's such a big package. It covers a lot of areas in a lot of different ways. And so what we've developed is a map that enables you to visualize how infoodle puts these things together. So let's explore that. So we've got an individual. So your individual is a person, all right? It's really important to understand it is one individual contact that we're working through here. And that's where the start of infoodle is in terms of its data management. So this is a particular individual. You can get obtuse different versions where you have maybe a fence post, or it could be a bicycle or something that different people are sponsoring. But effectively, it's one individual item, one individual entity that we're talking about here. So that individual can be described. It's got more data that's associated with it. So you can see here we've got email, we've got phone numbers, date of birth, those kind of fields that infoodle provides for you. They're standard fields, names and address, things like that. But also we've got custom fields. So this is where you can go mad. You can actually create all kinds of different fields to store all kinds of different data. So that can be anything about when the first time they got into contact with you, whether they would like to receive a newsletter. That's one approach that people use it for. All kinds of different, what color paint that they have on their fence post. I mean, it's just whatever information you need to store on there is a way of expanding and creating that rich data that you need about your contacts. We can then take that individual and logically they can be connected with other individuals that reside at the same location. So that's a household. In one way of looking at it, it can be an organization. So everybody who works for BP all works within the same office, and therefore you've got a whole bunch of people who are connected at the same place. So that is an organization, or indeed it's a household. You've got the parents, you've got the kids who all connect together. So therefore they are treated as a household. They're treated as a collective. So if you want to send out a letter, postal letter to those that household, then you can do it in one go. Likewise, a household has got custom fields, so you can explore more and provide more rich data about that household. Individuals then are connected together to create groups. So this is outside of your household. It's a way of connecting people together for other purposes. So they volunteer on a Saturday, they are interested in attending an event, or whatever it happens to be. Newsletter is a common, perhaps a more common way of using groups, how you want to communicate with these people so people can be added and taken off. Home group type activities, those kind of things. Groups can then also be added together to create clusters. So clusters is a way of providing a kind of umbrella over your groups. So you can segment your database into sections so that a person can have a view on just their cluster of groups, whereas they can't see the rest of the database. So that's often used for regionalized organizations. So they work in the north, therefore they've got access to just the people in the north, and they can't see the people in the south, for instance, that kind of thing. From our clusters and our groups, we can then start rostering people through and together with the event side of things. So rostering a group and connecting that event to a roster means that we're now rostering events. Okay, so this is where we start coordinating our volunteers. So you can see then you'd have a group of volunteers, and those volunteers consist of individuals. So you can see how that connection works. From an event, we can also start recording attendance about those who in those individual groups have turned up to that particular event, and we can also do a check-in. So we can register people who've turned up, so who turned up, who didn't turn up. We can run reports based on that information, etc. So that's for producing labels if you wanted to. So it's a separate area that can be connected into infoodle to enable that. So up there on the right, we can see we've also got transactions. So an individual will give you funds in different forms, and you can record the different transactions that they have given to you. That transaction, we record a number of aspects about that transaction. So you can see we've got 5 there. There are more that we do, but that's just to give you an idea that there are different attributes about a specific transaction to identify why they have given that transaction to you. Once we've got transactions, we can start issuing receipts. So again, for those people not in the UK, we can issue receipts. Receipts can also be, even if you don't issue tax receipts, it can be a useful way of being able to communicate back to people that you've received their donation. So it's just a mechanism that you can use for kind of one-off communications about a particular transaction. So that's worth exploring. In addition to transactions, we've got pledges. So these are simply commitments to make a transaction to you. So I'm going to give you £10 a month. I'm going to give you $50 a year. Whether that be a membership, whether that be just a regular donation of some sort, it's up to you as to what that pledge looks like. It's just some kind of regular transactional activity. It can be for specific account codes. It can be for specific campaigns. There's lots of variety that you can have there in terms of your pledges. So once we've got pledges, we've got transactions, then we can analyze that data. So the analysis side of things enables you to track who has been donating, who hasn't been. You've got pledge versus actual as an example there. So that enables you to see, well, these people pledged to give us $50 a month, but in reality, they've only given us 30, or they stopped giving in September. So we can then start exploring that information. So it's analyzing the transactional and the pledge and the contact, and how that contact is connected into a group. Can affect how these pledges and transactions are recorded and reported back out. So with that structure that you're looking at there, you can get quite a lot of sophistication about how you're doing as far as your campaigns is concerned. Is the North performing better than the South? Based on the different campaigns and the pledges, for instance. All those kind of things can be tracked and recorded. Forms plays a key role in getting any kind of external data back into the system. So that means somebody who is not logged into infoodle. So a form can be a form that you may have used to register for this webinar that we're doing. So you're turning up for a particular event. We're capturing the fact that you are interested. We're capturing your data. We're capturing the group that you want to be a part of. And so therefore we're able to use that within our system to be able to identify who you are and which group you're a part of and what you're going to be attending. Likewise, you can be using forms for identifying a pledge that you're going to give us. So you want to make a donation. So you're going to make a donation either directly or through a pledge. So let's capture that. So all kinds of external, I'm interested in this. I want to sign up for this newsletter. I want to give you money. Here's more of my contact information. Here's the other people that are part of my group. Here's, I want to turn up to the kids club, whatever it happens to be, is getting information back in. And these forms can be used on your Facebook page. They can be used on your website. They can be integrated with most web systems. So we've also got part of the forms, we've got a payment gateway. So payment gateways enables you to be able to actually take the physical money. There's a variety of payment gateways that you can use. You don't have to. You can have free text ones or free events, free activities. So you can receive checks and those kind of things as well. But if you want to start actually taking money at the point where people are entering the data, like buying a ticket or subscribing for an event, those kind of things, then you may want to take the $10, the $50, the $100, whatever it is at that point, and that's done through a payment gateway. So we'd be thinking things like Stripe there, maybe Easy Debit, maybe Go Cardless. So there's other mechanisms that we can use. We've also got a library area. So library is slightly different from these things. At its simplest, it's a place to record documentation. So those are physical files like docs or Excel spreadsheets, or they could be MP3 files. So there's quite a big limit, so you're able to store whatever you need there. That again is controlled by groups. So you could have a leadership group that's got access to certain documents like budgets and forecasts and those kind of things, whereas you've got volunteers who've got access to other things like standard operating procedures or other text type documents that they're interested in and they need in order to be able to do their job. So it's a really flexible area, controlled quite a lot by permissions, and this is where it helps in comparison to some of the other engines that are out there, is that enables you to actually control the permission. So when I stop becoming a leader, then I simply get taken out of a group and now I don't have access to the documentation. So you're a bit more secure, a bit more certain about who is seeing documents. Like we use Google Drive sometimes, or we use Dropbox sometimes. It's difficult to see who and to maintain the fact and be sure of who's actually got access to the documents, who can update it, who can't, etc. As well as the library, there's an asset. So this is a really simple process whereby you're able to record the information about the physical assets you've got. So it could be a computer, a desk, a book, whatever it happens to be. These are physical items that you can then connect into the library, and through that you can actually do a check-in, check-out process. So I want to take this book out and I want to borrow these cups, these kind of things. You can just helps you keep track of what's going on within the system. Assets enables you to be able to store things like warranty documents or receipts. So you can, if there's a problem, then you've got the information there stored, so you can take it back and deal with it in that way. So assets is quite helpful in that way, certainly as an adjunct to the library. The library also enables you to store documents against individuals or households. So as you're building up a profile about that individual, then the library helps you to do that. So in the middle there, you can see we can contact. So we can contact individuals. Again, you can see that's connected up to the individual line. And so that enables us to be able to, or you to be able to contact those people. So this is, as I say, sending out letters, sending out emails, generating labels. It's using the information in the groups and the custom fields and the transactions maybe to be able to identify who you're going to communicate with. And lastly, over here, we've got the reports. So reports, as I mentioned earlier, is how we enable you to extract this information. So again, it's connected to the individual, but it allows you to pull all of that information that we're now looking at to be able to generate the information that you're looking at. These colored areas are showing you how that relates to the packages that infoodle has got. So the CRM is kind of the white area, the docs area up there on the left, so you can see how the packages fit. So if there's something particularly you want to be able to do and you can see, oh, that would be useful, then you can see which package it relates to. Notice things like attendance perhaps is outside of the box because you get that as part of the CRM, but it integrates with the event, so therefore you can get more power out of the attendance by using the event module. So that's an overview of infoodle. Quick map there. This is available on the website if you want to download it. So there's abilities to be able to record that, have it on your wall if you like. But in terms of infoodle, that's the kind of extent of where we are looking at. It's about people. We're focusing on individuals, and we're enabling you to capture the information that relates to the individuals that are connected to your community. And I hope that was useful.